But I think everyone needs to come around to that journey of realizing that they deserve to be exactly where they are.
Hello, my name is Craig, or so you think! And today I'm going to talk about Imposter Syndrome, which is something I feel from time to time, especially leading up to this video.
I think I'm about to interview Hugh Jackman and Craig Brewer, the director of Song Sung Blue, and I'm going to try to talk to them about Imposter Syndrome. I'm feeling very much like an imposter right now.
See? And I'm being extra imposter right now. You think I'm sitting down regular. Actually, I got my feet rested on the couch in front of me. Two questions we must answer right now. One, what is imposter syndrome? Well, the way I see it, it could mean that you feel like you're faking it, that you truly don't belong in the position that you're in. And I feel this. I feel this pretty often because a lot of the time, I am faking it. Just simply editing myself is faking it. I started my career by playing the character of WheezyWaiter. And yes, in some ways it was me, but wasn't exactly me. Hopefully. I played the role of a public persona, a very high-energy person who always knew what to do and what to say in the most concise, entertaining way. I mean, ideally. And internally, I was faking it until I made it. I told myself if I wanted to do something like this professionally, I just had to pretend to be the person who does this thing professionally. Eventually, I succeeded, and it became my job. And over the years, I have slowly become mostly me in these videos. Like an edited version of me. But the feeling stayed the same. The feeling of faking it never stopped. I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing because a lot of the time I actually don't, and I feel like this will all be taken away from me someday. I'm gonna talk about some solutions to this a little bit later. But, second question, what the hell's going on here? So, why am I talking to Wolverine? Wolverine is a character. That's Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman? Sounds fake. Get to the alligator pit, clone. You make clones and then kill them? That sounds like I've seen it in a movie once. Never heard of it.
I make clones in my videos, and I kill them. And I want to thank you for the inspiration from the movie The Prestige.
Yeah, my pleasure. That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, right. I have heard of it. Great. Does that mean I don't have to? You still have to go to the alligator pit, clone. All right. I was asked if I wanted to come to a special screening in Milwaukee of this movie, Song Sung Blue. They're showing it in Milwaukee because it's based on a true story that takes place in Milwaukee about a Neil Diamond cover band called Thunder and Lightning. I've seen it. It's really good. It's funny, it's tragic, and overall, well done. Good job, Craig Brewer, Hugh Jackman, Kate Hudson, and all those people. In a recent video, I did say I was skeptical of biopics because often it feels like it didn't really happen that way. It all just comes together way too conveniently for me, and I just don't feel it. But I talked to Rachel Cartwright, who is the real-life version of one of the main characters in the movie, the stepdaughter/daughter of the real-life Thunder and Lightning, and she said,
very real. I mean, this is the story as it happens. My favorite part about this whole thing is the reviewers that are like, this story is so absurd. This would never. And I'm like, bro, it's literally my life. You can give it a 7 out of 10 all you want, but it's literally like exactly what happened to a team.
Anyway, so they asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, sure! And then they asked me if I would like to interview Hugh Jackman and the director Craig Brewer, and I was like, because you see, I don't normally do that. I don't interview people on red carpets, and I was scared. This happened to me once before. I was on the red carpet of the movie Tron Legacy at the premiere, and I shied away from interviewing anyone. I guess people think because I have an online audience, I know what I'm doing. That's my secret, Captain. I never know what I'm doing.
That's my secret, Captain.
I never know what I'm doing. I have done many interviews. I'm usually fine interviewing people, and I love movies. I've seen lots of movies, and I love talking about movies, and I've made a movie. So what's the deal? The idea of a red carpet interview just makes me feel out of place. It makes me feel like an imposter. I feel like because of the setting, I'm supposed to behave in a certain Hollywood interview type way, and so I said yes. Because I've learned that if I'm feeling uncomfortable, it's often a sign that I should lean into it. There's a quote people talk about all the time that's usually attributed to Woody Allen, and it's something like 80% of success is showing up, or 80% of life is showing up, or 76% of being good at stuff is, being there to do it and stuff. You can interpret this several ways, and I do! But one is by jumping into things when you don't feel ready. Don't cancel. Don't skip. Don't make excuses. Don't put it off. Go places. Do stuff. Dance. Well, you don't have to dance, unless dancing is part of it, like you're doing a dance recital or something. I'm going to say no to that. The point is, showing up will be a value add no matter what. And if it makes you uncomfortable, that is a sign that it's good for you. So I decided to just show up, having no idea what I was going to do. But then I made a plan. Plan, show up. I feel like I saw a really good video about that once. Plan, show up. If something's not working, ask yourself, do I really have a plan? And if you do, Am I really showing up? So I decided I needed a grand topic because I'm not going to just talk to Hollywood actors about Hollywood stuff. I needed some sort of idea that the interviews would reinforce. And so I thought the bigger idea would be Imposter Syndrome. It makes sense because it seemed like maybe one of the themes of the movie, and I've heard that Hugh Jackman suffered from imposter syndrome.
So for me, sure, there's been an imposter syndrome earlier on, for sure, and it takes a while, you know.
See, told you I heard it. That's not where I heard it, though. That was me asking him. But
You've heard of imposter syndrome? Oh, not that good. I wasn't even the best of my high school. How can I get a job in the industry?
yeah, that's probably where I heard it. But anyway, someone with that stature having imposter syndrome? Absurd! Also, Craig Brewer, the director of Song Sung Blue.
Craig, I'm Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Nice to meet you.
Fantastic name.
I agree.
Congratulations.
You too.
By the way, he also directed the awesome Eddie Murphy comedy Dolomite Is My Name. I highly recommend it. And Hustle and Flow, which I haven't seen it, but it has 2 Oscar nominations. And that guy, the director of those things, well...
Do you suffer from imposter syndrome?
Constantly. I think everybody that probably is paid to do what they love artistically suffers from imposter syndrome, because deep down you're dealing with all the times that somebody in your life said, like, well, when are you going to get serious and maybe go to college, or when are you going to get serious and have a real job? Like, at some point the gig is going to be up and people are going to say, like, no, we were kidding, you can't make a living off of being creative, and we're going to take that back any moment. And so that always feeds into that imposter syndrome.
So, the movie itself, Song Sung Blue, is about a guy who's pretending to be Neil Diamond. That is literally an imposter. I asked my now best friend Hugh if he thinks that Mike had imposter syndrome.
But he always believed. I don't think any part of him doubted. He just wanted to get up in his community, be loved, entertain people, make people happy.
Okay, so maybe what makes Mike so interesting is that he didn't have imposter syndrome. He knew what his dream was and he chased it. Oh, wait a second. Okay, now all those movies that my second best friend Craig made, they all seem to have a commonality.
Several of your movies deal with a person who's going unapologetically after something creative. You've said that you even envy the character of Mike for shutting down the doubt. Could you explain what draws you to this type of story?
Yeah, I'm envious. Like, I want to try to live my own life that way. I think that it's really a shame that life and adulthood ultimately takes some of those big dreams and tells you, don't go after that. That's unrealistic. The thing that you learn, I think, when you're older is that by going after some of those impossible dreams, it's like you actually gain more in your life, even in the failure of that. And I wouldn't even call it failure. It's like you're reaching for something just outside of your grasp, but it makes you stronger, and it makes you actually find other things in your life that are meaningful. And I think that so many people, they see the obstacles, they see how hard it's going to be, and therefore they don't move forward. I'm always amazed when there's someone that just has this unrealistic dream, like Rudy Ray Moore saying, hey, I'm going to be an action hero, even though he's like in his late 50s and he's got like a belly or something like that. Yeah, but he also created like this incredible movie that...
Again, Dolomite Is My Name. Good stuff. So, it's a common feeling, apparently. The feeling that you're not where you belong. I also think that feeling happens before you get where you belong, and that can keep you from trying to get where you belong. To be clear, we don't necessarily belong anywhere. The world is what you make it, but you know what I'm saying. So for me, I eventually tried, thankfully, and I got there in spite of how I felt. I played a character. I faked it. And then when I got there, it often still feels fake. But I've also come to believe that I think this is the way most people feel. It seems like most people feel like they don't know what they're doing. Some people are just really good at continuing to show up despite everything, continuing to make plans, or they're really good at improvising around what they don't know how to do. It's fake turtles all the way up. So how do we deal with this? Well, here's what Buddy Hugh says.
The way I got over that to a certain degree was by studying. I studied for 4 years as an actor because I wanted to feel I could turn up for an audition at the Royal Shakespeare Company or for a TV show and feel I deserved the job. And the other thing is, you're not going to know everything when you start. You're just not. And actually, that's a strength.
Learn stuff, research, practice, become Wolverine. You didn't say become Wolverine, but that would be good. I think the negative side of my imposter syndrome makes me too perfectionist. I get meticulous about everything because I want to hide my flaws and not be found out. But it also motivates me to learn to be a good editor, to make sure things are good, to have solid plans. It helps me when I write a video or when I cut down an interview and figure out ways to expertly drop it in the middle of what I'm saying.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Craig Brewer. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that most success comes down to believing in yourself or figuring out how to skirt your way around not believing in yourself so that you can become someone who you feel like an imposter as, because imposter syndrome isn't a sign that you don't belong. It's a sign that you showed up. And I think feeling like an imposter might also be a part of being young. And as you get older, you do, again, just in my experience, become more comfortable in your own skin. Unless you had a skin transplant. Or your dream is to become a serial killer who likes to... Never mind. So thank you for watching this video by me, Craig, WheezyWaiter. Or so you believe. And now, there comes a time in the life of every young video where you thank the sponsor of the video. Thank you, SolarAy, for sponsoring this video! So here's the thing. Much like my tolerance for and knowledge of new slang, no cap, testosterone naturally declines as we age. Some studies say about 1% per year after 40. I'm 5 after 40. I'm so... Oh! This decline can impact confidence, sexual health, but SolarAy has a new men's line, the Testosterone Support Formula, a plant-powered way to support testosterone levels so that you can get back to feeling confident, strong, steadfast, stalwart, robust, other tough-sounding words, and be a good human citizen of planet Earth. It puts osterone to the test. That's a slogan I made that they'll probably reject. What are the ingredients, Craig? It's got this stuff called Tesnor, a clinically studied combo of cocoa bean and pomegranate peel. That was the name of my two-man folk band in high school. It's also got things like zinc, fenugreek, and tribulus. I'm not sure what tribulus is, but it probably means 3 buluses. Also some stuff called Tonkat Ali, which was my professional wrestler name. I was sort of a chef character. I used kitchen utensils. Also, I dressed as a cat. And SolarAy ain't some run-of-the-mill supplement brand. They've been doing this for 50 years. A pioneer in wellness, trusted by health-conscious individuals. They rigorously test everything to ensure quality and make sure that what is said on the label is what is in there. Stock up today and get 30% off by heading to solaray.com/WheezyWaiter and using code WheezyWaiter. Or scan the QR code on screen. That's 30% off. That's pretty good. Thank you, SolarAy. And now, back to... I guess the end of the video. That is all. Thank you for watching. My legs are starting to hurt from being extended like this for too long. So let's put an end to this madness. It's the end of the year. Maybe next year, 2026, is the year that you finally stop being an imposter. Or at least just continue to show up and fake it. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. Some might know. But no one's gonna know. And check out Song Sung Blue. I'm telling you, it's a good movie. I guess that's it. And now I will reveal that I was a clone the whole time. Thank you, clone. Thanks for watching. I'm also a clone.